And so if you ask me why I have to wake up every day, even in moments of incredible darkness, and there have been a lot, it's because I have no choice but to lead this thing to the victory circle. Ben, there's no choice. I don't even know what I would do if this doesn't work. I'll be on a street corner.
Welcome back to another episode of The Burn. I am Ben Newman, and you know how we do this every single week. We're going to bring you a story of an athlete, an entrepreneur, somebody from the business world, an individual who is connected to their burn, which ignites their why and their purpose, and then drives them to be disciplined in their daily action. And oftentimes on this path, I don't always say this at the beginning, but this is a special interview today, and I want you to pay attention. You have to believe in yourself. When you connect to that burn, you have to believe in your thoughts and your dreams and know that that burn, when it ignites that why and purpose, and you take the disciplined action, you will do incredible things that will stagger the imagination. So before I introduce my friend Yanni Hufnagel, I gotta share a little backstory. I worked with Cuonzo Martin, his first year with the University of Missouri basketball team. I'm sitting at a practice, minding my own business, watching the guys compete, and here comes Yanni. I mean, his hair looks just like it does right now. He's got this energy, he's got this passion, this vibrancy to him, and he sits down next to me. And he starts saying, you know, I used to coach with Cuonzo out at Cal, and I've been a basketball coach, and I'm doing. And so, what are you doing out here now? And Yanni reaches down into this little refrigerator bag, and he pulls out of this refrigerator bag. It was an unmarked bottle. Let me tell you, it didn't look as beautiful as I now enjoy my Lemon Perfect today. It was an unmarked clear bottle. And he says, you got to try this. And I'm thinking to myself, I just met this guy. Now, he's friends with Cuonzo, right? He's part of the family here. So I can trust the guy. I take a sip out of the bottle. I'm like, oh, like what is in that bottle? And Yanni starts to go into what was in that bottle. And what was in that bottle was the initial recipe of Lemon Perfect. And I'm going to bring Yanni in here now. But Yanni, what blew me away that day was your energy, your belief, and your passion to walk away from what was comfortable, coaching hoops, what you knew, what you loved, to believe in yourself and say, man, I'm going to chase my dreams with something I know the world needs in a world that's full of sugary products and and all these different. And you said, we're going to make a stamp, and I believe. And I saw it in your eyes. I felt it in your energy. And it is no surprise that this is what I now see, which is not an unmarked bottle. This I see all over the place. I can literally order this on Amazon in St. Louis, Missouri, and it shows up the same day. Do you guys know how that works? That means when a product is selling at such a high level and people love it so much, they keep it in the local warehouses so they can drop it the same day. Then when I go out to California with the family to Laguna Beach to spend 3 weeks together, it's all over California because that's where it started. So Yanni, enough of me talking about the beauty of Lemon Perfect. Welcome to The Burn, my friend.
Ben, thank you so much for having me. I remember that day in late 2017 in Colombia very, very well. And I've been a huge fan of yours from minute one, and through the lens of that first conversation. What an honor it is to join you here today.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I know how busy you are because when we met with that unmarked bottle, you know, Beyonce Knowles was not behind you then. Sloane Stephens was not behind you then. Drew Hanlon was not behind you then. You did, though. You had supporters of people who believed in you, like the Cuonzo Martins of the world. So before we talk about Lemon Perfect and how delicious it is and how much I love it, how much our family loves it, how important are relationships in life when you have dreams and belief to do something like this?
Ben, it's everything, right? We would not be where we are without the people that have believed in this journey from day one. right? I mean, before we sold one bottle of Lemon Perfect, when Lemon Perfect was in those little 4-ounce bottles that I was buying on Amazon.com and filling out of a half-gallon jug from our flavor lab, you needed a group that believed in the jockey more than in the product, and we got that. We had 40 investors that wrote checks into our very first financing, and that allowed us to at least, get to market and figure out if there would be some product market fit. And in the time since, right, people, not the product, have powered Lemon Perfect, right? We talk about the concept all the time of listen, there are 4 P's to creating a successful beverage brand, right? 1 is product, 2 is packaging, 3 is price, 4 is people. But now I'm starting to say that really our product is not the liquid inside the bottle, which is magical, but our product is really our people, and not only our internal people, but all of our stakeholders that believe in what we can all build together. Keyword together, right? We talk about we, capital we, together, capital together. When we talk about that line of what we can build together, right? And I say that often, we capitalize or bold the word we capitalize or bold the word together, because really this journey, this ride is all about the stakeholders that have powered it with such enthusiasm.
It's I almost relate back hearing your passion, your enthusiasm, that team-based mindset. So many individuals, they go and they create a brand, they have an idea, and it becomes so much about them. How much of your we mentality comes from growing up in the world of basketball, being a basketball coach? And I just want to frame this. You weren't coaching at a low level of basketball. I mean, you were at the highest level in the game of basketball collegiately. I mean, Pac-12 basketball. I mean, you're talking about coaching I mean, you were at the highest of the high, yet you left because of this belief. So how much of this team aspect did you bring with you to what you're now doing today from an entrepreneurial standpoint?
All of it, right? For me, being in another scoreboard business, right? Like that was an easy transition, if you will. Every day we talk about the scoreboard here, every day, right? So in a lot of ways, it's like we're coaching a team. We are coaching a team. It's just the scoreboard has bigger numbers on it, right? And that's when we hire, right? I'm now the last interview in the process, but we always talk about this being a scoreboard business, right? And how do you win? Well, you need people with uncommon, right, who are going to get up extra shots, right? So we use that expression often with our people, which is a basketball expression. But here's the truth: very, very, very similar when you're building a business like this one and when you're coaching a basketball team. It's just now all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, because now we're 5 years later, but our scoreboard can just impact more people, right? When I was coaching college basketball, I can impact 13 lives in the locker room, right? Now, Ben, by delivering the joy of flavor and promoting healthy hydration, really without boundaries, right? I mean, Lemon Perfect, we believe, it knows no boundaries, right? Because flavor knows no boundaries, right? I mean, Lemon Perfect appeals to anyone, old and young, rich and poor, black and white, male and female, gay, straight. Like, I don't care where you live, where you shop, what you look like, right? Everyone craves a delicious and refreshing drink experience. We've just found a way to put that on the shelf without any of the bad stuff, right? No sugar, right? Or organic ingredients. But the skill set necessary to survive and advance. And in this business, every year we have to just survive and advance, right? How do you cross the finish line? It's just survival.
Mm.
Think about the competitiveness of the business that we're in, right? You have incumbent players that have been on the shelf for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. They're brought into retail by big distribution, Coke, Pepsi, Keurig, Dr. Pepper. We just go into every day with big underdog mentality, and we just need to survive and advance. Now, all of a sudden, here we are 2 years in to selling the shelf stable version of Lemon Perfect, right? For the first year, we sold a keep refrigerated product. And then when we flipped it, we're 2 years into the current product. And we now have a 6 share in the entire category by dollars, the entire enhanced water category. And the reason why we've accelerated in the way that we have, yes, the product's great. Yes, people come back after trial. But we couldn't do any of what we're doing if we didn't operate like we had to step between the lines of a basketball court and really get after it and compete every possession with everything that we had, right? We talk about constant communication and elite energy, CCEE, basketball term, right? I mean, that's a Tommy Amaker basketball philosophy, having constant communication, right? It's like when we're playing defense in basketball, you want to be early, loud, and continuous with your pick and roll coverage. So so we do the same thing. I tell our people all the time, we got to be early, loud, and continuous with our talk, right? And when I say that, it's relative. Like, so that just might mean a call sheet after you talk to a retailer, but we have great communication here at the business. So anyway, I'm saying all that to say that we are hyper competitive, right? And that's not for everyone, Ben. Lemon Perfect is not for everyone. You have to have uncommon grit. You have to have a want to compete. Not every day, because we talk about the concept of that Lemon Perfect. All you do is sprint or rest, sprint, rest. You never run and you never walk. So no one could compete every day at the highest level. Impossible. Not when you're selling something and you know that the journey is going to be 3, 4, 5 years. That's not possible. But you can sprint and you can rest, more sprinting than resting. But it's very, very important that our people have a clear mind and fresh legs every day. And so we prioritize that. But yes, what I learned coaching basketball from some of the game's elite coaches, Jeff Capel, Tommy Amaker, Kevin Stallings, Cuonzo Martin, Eric Muscle. I took everything that I liked from them and I'm applying it to the job today.
It is so awesome to watch. I am going to just call a little halftime here real quick. You're going to get a sip in. We're at halftime. And I want people to know, so many people are worried about sugar content these days. Total sugars, 0, right? Total calories, 5. And for people who are looking for those healthy alternatives, like that's one of the reasons why I love it. Like, yes, it tastes good, but then you look on the back of the bottle, it's like, wait a second, the challenges that I'll do from 75 hard and not cheating on things and removing alcohol and trying to be as healthy as you can be, but locked in and energized, it takes products like this. So, when I get to halftime of my days, when I finish a workout, it's an incredible way for me to rejuvenate myself. And so, all right, so we're done with halftime. Let me ask you this question. I know there are periods of time for you when you wanted to quit, right? You want to stop. So like, what was the burn for you, Yanni? Those days where it was like, oh my gosh, I'm on this plane. I've got this refrigerated snack. Am I ever going to have the beautiful bottle that looks like this? What was the burn? What was the fire? Where did you go to mentally? What was deep down in your belly that kept you going and fighting? And what continues to keep you fighting today?
Ben, for me, here's the truth. There are 2 ways out of my office. One's in a box and 2 is with some coins in my pocket. And really that has been my psychological philosophy from minute 1. As soon as we took our first dollar, right? And we've raised now in the time since over $60 million. But as soon as we took $1, I then had a burden on my shoulders that we couldn't not cross the finish line, right? Like that's That, and now all of a sudden, as we fast forward and we look at Lemon Perfect, or I look at Lemon Perfect today, I really now have 3 roads that I have to sprint down every day. 1, we have to build a great business, right? We have to build a business that can transact. We have to find liquidity for our investors. We have to generate shareholder return. 1. 2, right? We have an opportunity to change the way that America drinks beverage. We live in a beverage ecosystem that's still dominated by to your point, by high calorie, high sugar options. Lemon Perfect can disrupt that, certainly disrupt the way that people drink water by delivering something with the powerful nutritional deck that we have, but also with the flavor experience, right? You're not sacrificing anything. If we say that hydration is the bedrock of good health in America, and we say that sugar is the root of destruction of poor health in America, how magical is healthy hydration that tastes great without the sugar? There it is. But how do you build a great business, impact the health of the American consumer through this product, Lemon Perfect? Well, there's something in the middle. That's your people. And I want our people to feel like they are on a trampoline of growth every day, every week, every month, every year, jumping higher, 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 higher. But they're the connective tissue between 1 and 2. And so if you ask me why I have to wake up every day, even in moments of incredible darkness, and there have been a lot, it's because I have no choice but to lead this thing to the victory circle. Ben, there's no choice. I don't even know what I would do if this doesn't work. I'll be on a street corner. That's the fact. And so we embrace that every single day.
Well, I'll tell you, it is working because it's in refrigerators like mine all across this country now. When I was out in California and Drew had us come by the gym, you know, when he's training Joel Embiid and training all the guys, I mean, it's right in the Lemon Perfect refrigerator in multiple flavors. I mean, you've got it right in the gyms with NBA athletes competing at the highest possible level to people's homes. So it's across the board. And I know with your energy and your passion and your belief, you will not stop. You will see this to fruition and disrupt the market, which you're already doing. Here's what I'd love for you to take people to really wrap this up. I've been selling for a long time. My first job, I was 13 years old selling hot dogs at a snack bar at 100-degree weather in St. Louis for $3.25 an hour. And I've always said, when you get lemons, you don't just make lemonade. You got to make lemonade, and then you got to go sell the heck out of it. And that is what you have done, right? Drink more lemons, and you're selling the heck out of it. What advice do you give to that entrepreneur? The one who's watching, that's not your competition. They're not in the beverage space, but they, just like you, they have their product showing up to a gymnasium like you did. They have their product going to a boardroom, and deep down inside, they're questioning, do I have what it takes to keep going? What do you tell that entrepreneur in this landscape of this world where we're almost taught to give up? We're almost taught to quit. We're taught to be weak. What advice do you have for those individuals that have it in them, just like you have it in you, to keep fighting and to not quit?
Great question. You know, for me, it's you need to start by having a belief in your product unlike any other person on the planet would have, right? Like, it has to start there, Ben. So what I would say is, if you're an entrepreneur and going out there building a product or selling a product, you better be maniacal about the impact that product can make on the world. Period. Full stop, end of story. Because if you're not, I will tell you, Ben, I will tell your listeners to turn around, stop, because you'll be wasting your time. And maybe there's something else, or maybe entrepreneurship is not for you because it's not for everyone. Entrepreneurship is for you if you are maniacal about the product or the business that you're building only. And if it's a food and beverage business, you better make sure it tastes good. I'll throw that in. But you need to be maniacal about what you can build. And you have to be ready to sacrifice certain things, namely your time, because it's not easy. It's the hardest thing that you can do professionally, starting something from nothing, from a seed in the ground. But you better be ready. You better be ready, because that seed is not going to be right when you walk outside. That seed's going to be far away. So you better be ready to carry heavy pails of water in unimaginable heat and adversity to go water that seed every day. And if you're not prepared for the journey from your house to fill up the water bucket and take that heavy bucket, I mean, where you know the feeling, where your wrists are burning and you feel like you're going to drop the bucket, but something inside of you just says, I got to keep going. That is my advice, is you got to power through the moment where you feel like I can't hold on to the bucket any longer. And the mind if you have that mindset, the mind's it's a fascinating thing that you actually really do have it in you to keep going, but you got to be passionate about the product. And it's not only about the monetary impact of what you can build. Make sure that there is a from the heart, hey, I believe in this thing. I can create impact on the world piece of it too. We're very lucky in that we have the duality of both, right? Build a great business, make impact on the world, take care of our people. Really the triality.
Yanni, I can't thank you enough for this, for living what you believe. You know, so many people, we always talk about on the burn here, how people say how bad they want it, but then we have a story with their action, and their action tells the real story. When we watch your action, when I've watched your action from the little 4-ounce bottle that you poured out of a refrigerator at your house, put in the refrigerator bag, to this, and the dailiness and the beliefs, and hearing you talk about these coaches that influence you and how you bring that into how you build people today. You are living that action. You are showing up with a maniacal passion and belief in yourself. And I thank you for your energy. I thank you for your enthusiasm. I thank you for you're an example in a world right now where, like I said, people are told to be weak. They're told to quit. They're told to not chase their dreams. But it's stories like yours of Lemon Perfect that goes beyond us just drinking more lemons. It's a story of belief, and it's a story of passion. And I'm grateful to be able to, partner with Lemon Perfect and to be able to share your message. And it just puts a smile on my face. Literally, when I thought about finally being able to do this interview, I'm like, how amazing that we sat there in Columbia at Mizzou basketball practice all those years ago, and now to be here today. It's just awesome, and I appreciate you coming on the show.
Ben, it's such a pleasure. And I'll tell you, we've had this on the calendar for about a month, and it's very full circle of a moment for me, because you really were one of the first people, the very first people that believed in what Lemon Perfect could be. And for that, Ben, I'm forever grateful. You talk about energy. I mean, I'm just trying to match what you bring to the table. You are one of the most positive, high energy, well-liked people that I know in my entire network. We have several mutual friends, and I really am unbelievably inspired by the work that you do every day. The number of people that you touch, I don't know how you do it all, but continue to inspire the audience that you do, the size of the audience that you do. And I am very humbled by your enthusiasm for Lemon Perfect and what we can create together. So thank you for having me on. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Yanni, so much. And it's a pleasure to be in this fight with you. I appreciate all of your words. And as I say all the time to athletes and business professionals I work with, the best is yet to come. And I know that to be the truth with your story, the Lemon Perfect story, and the impact we can have together. So, Yanni, I appreciate so much everything that you do. Thank you for tuning into The Burn. You are going to easily be able to check out Lemon Perfect by getting into these notes for the show. We're going to make it as easy as possible. And if you don't like Lemon Perfect is on me. But if there's anything I can tell you, you are going to love it. It's going to show up in your refrigerator all the time. You might as well hit that subscribe button on Amazon. And Yanni, I appreciate you. Great to be in the fight with you. And until next week, we look forward to staying connected with each and every single one of you here on The Burn.